Could better days be ahead for the Vision? We'll also check out what's up with Cody Rhodes, Braun Breaker, and more. Starting things off with everything that's new for the Vision. As everyone knows, late 2025 and most of 2026 so far has been an absolute nightmare for the Vision. It all started when they lost Seth Rollins due to an injury and had to prematurely kick him out of the group. That was then followed up by the losses of Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed to injuries as well. Seth Rollins himself even came out and said in a recent interview that he believes his fake injury angle jinxed and cursed the whole group, and everyone can definitely agree on that. But these very dark times for the Vision came to a sudden end recently on Raw, when they were able to win the tag team titles from Jimmy and Jay. Logan Paul and Austin Theory were able to snap this streak of bad luck for the Vision and bring back championship gold to the group for the first time since Seth's world title win last August. It's a huge win for the careers of Logan Paul and Austin Theory, but it's especially huge for the Vision in general because the rough patch they've been in has been a long one. With the tag team titles now being in the Vision's possession, this is a good sign that brighter days are ahead for the group. Like we quickly touched on earlier in the week, the big rumor this week is that Braun Breaker has been medically cleared to compete. He's cleared and ready to go, so everything is now up to the creative side of things to determine when Braun Breaker gets written back onto television. So that's another huge positive for the Vision. Braun Breaker is cleared and waiting for his cue to get back on screen. So that's another plus for the Vision. Braun Breaker's return is extremely imminent, and that will give the Vision one of their core pieces back. And the wait to see that is not that long at all. Braun reportedly already has his medical clearance, so he can return literally any day now. But they'll probably hold off on his return until post-WrestleMania season, since these last few weeks before WrestleMania is usually hectic, with a lot of last-second build-up segments taking place for the WrestleMania card. So that's why, when it comes to Braun's return, it seems like something that is most likely to happen immediately after WrestleMania season. Could be at WrestleMania itself, or maybe even on the Raw after WrestleMania. Both prime spots for the return of Braun Breaker. And once Braun is back, you can really see the road getting brighter for the Vision again. Now they'll have the tag team titles in their possession, and Braun Breaker will be back now as well. It's already being reported and hinted at that the company wants to have a long program between Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins. So that's what awaits Braun the second he returns. We can expect to see that Braun and Seth feud start right away, and most definitely extend into the summer months. And maybe once Braun Breaker gets done with Seth Rollins, maybe Braun can once again refocus himself on the World Heavyweight Championship. We don't know who will be champion by the time Braun gets done with Seth. Maybe Roman is a champion, maybe it's CM Punk. Well, you gotta imagine that Braun Breaker will turn his attention back to that world title once Seth is dealt with. That's what Braun was originally focused on before Seth screwed him over at the Royal Rumble with that attack. So you gotta imagine that Braun will get right back to the World Heavyweight Championship as fast as he can. And if Austin Theory and Logan Paul can hold on to those tag team titles while Braun tries capturing that World Heavyweight title, it's possible that the Vision will try to win all the gold on Raw all at the same time. And then in a few more months, we can't forget about the return of Bronson Reed as well. That will be a huge return and the final missing piece to get the Vision back to being fully healthy. So these first few months of the year have been rough for the Vision, but it looks like things will certainly improve for them a lot here in the coming months. So don't write the Vision off quite yet because it looks like they are bouncing back in a big way. Cody Rhodes opened up some eyes and made some headlines for some of the things he had to say while making appearances on the Nikki and Brie show. One of the things Cody touched on was forever feuds and long rivalries. Cody flat out said that he was getting tired of wrestling the same few guys. He pointed out how he's tired of getting into these long-standing rivalries and just being stuck in them. A lot of fans took Cody's remarks in different ways. Some fans wondered if that was even a little bit of shade at the creative team as well, because this has been a heated topic amongst the community for a few years now. And that's the topic of how every feud this regime starts on television goes for 6 months minimum. And sure, if it's a great story and it's flowing and progressing well every week, then by all means keep it going for as long as you like if the story is great and is clicking on all cylinders. But there's some instances where feuds are going on forever with little to no purpose at all behind the feud and storyline. It gets to the point where feuds feel so stretched out, and it feels like they're just keeping those long feuds going because they got nothing else for either side to do. A good example of that in recent memory was the feud between Aleister Black and Damian Priest. That was a feud that surpassed the 6-month mark when in all reality, it never had any business being that long and tedious. We're even seeing it at the moment with the Wyatt 6 and MFT feud. This is a feud that's just starting to enter that 6-month timestamp, and it feels like nothing at all is happening anymore in that feud. Just very exhausting to see that feud never end and just continue aimlessly. Some fans are even starting to get a little bit of fatigue with the Becky Lynch and AJ Lee feud that is about to surpass its 8th month in length. When fans were discussing AJ's return, they envisioned her working with a lot of the members of the women's locker room and having many different rivalries and dream matches. But so far, we've just seen one 8-month-long program with Becky Lynch. And this is something that John Cena always mentions as well. John Cena said that sometimes the feud will call for it to enter that extended period. But how not every single feud has to last for 9 months? But according to how this regime has been running things, it does seem like every single feud they start runs for 6 to 9 months. And fans always talk about how exhausting that is, especially since the feuds are so dried up and dull once it finally concludes after an endless amount of months. It's kind of like what everyone talks about when it comes to great TV series. Some showrunners like to end their popular shows while they're still hot and popular. Go out on top right around that 5th or 6th season, leave the people wanting more, and leave it on a good note instead of running the show into the ground and juicing it for 15 seasons. It would be nice if that same mentality applied to feuds in WWE. Instead of running feuds into the ground with a 9-month story heading nowhere, why not end the long feud right around that 3 to 4 month mark? Wrap it up early, right as it's still at its peak, rather than having it go forever and have everyone groaning at how long the feud has been going on for. It would be very nice if not every single feud on television was a 9-month-long program. It seems like that's what Cody Rhodes was lightly addressing here. He wants to face new opponents and be involved with many different matches instead of being stuck facing 1 or 2 opponents for the entire year. So not only do some of the fans despise the forever feuds, but it looks like even the Undisputed Champion is not the biggest fans of them either. Also, while speaking on the Bella Show, Cody Rhodes revealed that he has 3 episodes of his podcast in the vault that will never see the light of day. Those episodes including one with Alexa Bliss, one with Big E, and one additional one. Cody Rhodes said the reason why they won't release is because he had too much to drink in those interviews and says it was rough to understand him in those 3 interviews. So hopefully they get those 3 interviews redone in the future as well. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.